The next thing you probably don't know anything about this. They did a novelization as they do of these Star Wars films. This is a great article on Polygon, but you can see the headline: Everything the Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker novelization adds to the movie. Now I've already read this article, so I'll just go ahead and give you the lowdown. The first one is that it's confirmed in the novelization that Palpatine was a clone.
Okay.
So
Okay, that's why
I
he
guess
was.
they got an excerpt from the book here. Oh, I don't want to go to the Twitter page. But here's the little excerpt in question. It says, "What could you give me?" Kylo asked. Emperor Palpatine lived after a fashion, and Kylo could feel in his very bones that this clone body sheltered the Emperor's actual spirit. It was an imperfect vessel, though, unable to contain his immense power. It couldn't last much longer. So I've heard this was like a staple of all those, all those fan fiction books they wrote after Return of the Jedi that they later discarded when they decided to make this new trilogy. I heard in those books there were some clone Palpatines, which is where they got the idea. So, I mean, what do you think of that?
It makes more sense than the actual Palpatine still being around.
Right. Since he got thrown down that shaft
Yeah,
and disintegrated.
that would. You know what? That was some of the problem I had with the movie. You know, was his existence. Just like it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
They should have been more forthcoming with the fact that he was a clone, and it would
Yeah,
have
they
helped.
should have, because I think once you establish that he's a clone, him being thrown down that mine shaft, you just come to the conclusion that he became some kind of force ghost.
Mm-hmm.
Because we know force ghosts exist.
Right.
And in The Last Jedi, they even made a point of showing you that the force ghosts can actually do stuff in the old reality. Like when Yoda sets that tree on fire.
Right.
So they can actually influence, because I kind of felt like in the original trilogy that Ben Kenobi, when he dies and comes back as a Force Ghost, I didn't feel like he could actually affect things in the universe anymore since he was a ghost. So that was never established till The Last Jedi. That's why I think people who put down The Last Jedi, there's a lot of stuff that it had a lot of problems, but there's a lot of ideas that I like that they
Well, looking back now on some of these other Star Wars movies,
Looking
that
back,
movie was fantastic.
compared to The Rise of Skywalker. A lot, because this is the thing. The Rise of Skywalker was constructed in the way to satisfy all these people knocking The Last Jedi, and now they don't even like that one. And it was made to satisfy them by giving Rey, this special parentage and all that crap that I thought was kind of stupid.
You know, when you start playing to the crowd,
Yeah.
everything just
You're not-
goes.
You're not going to satisfy anybody.
No,
so
man.
you might as well just
stay with your, with your vision and what you're trying to do.
Well, also they didn't have a vision.
Yeah,
That was
I guess.
part of the problem. They should have had an outline of what the whole thing was going to be about instead of just doing it and choosing a different director each movie. Because, J.J. Abrams wasn't even supposed to direct that last one. It was supposed to be that Colin Trevorrow guy.
Right.
So they just need to. J.J. Abrams was just a terrible choice for a director because.
We all know how you feel about him.
Yeah, we don't even need to go much more into it. Okay, and there was some other thing that they revealed in the novelization. Rey's dad, who was supposed to be the son of Palpatine, was actually a rejected clone who lived.
How's that possible?
Well, because that was one of my problems. When you remember in our review, I said, when did Palpatine get this get enough time to bang another woman or a woman and have a kid.
Right.
Well, according to the novel, he never did bang another woman. It was one of many clones, and I guess I'll read the excerpt here. The heretics of the Sith Eternal told, splicing genes, bolstering tissue, creating unnatural abominations in the hope that one of these scrandcasts would succeed and become a worthy receptacle. The heretics would do anything, risk anything, sacrifice anything to create a cradle for their God consciousness. Nothing worked, but their efforts were not entirely in vain. One genetic strandcast lived, thrived even. A not quite identical clone, his son, they put that in quotes, but he was a useless, powerless failure. Palpatine could not even bear to look upon such a disappointing ordinariness. The boy's only worth would lay in continuing the bloodline through more natural methods. So my question is, this is a little bit better in my mind because I just could not see Palpatine. To me, he was a sexless type of dude.
Yeah.
This makes more sense, but then it doesn't make sense because Rey, as we know, had great power, Jedi powers.
Right.
So if her father didn't have any, where did she get her power? Because it's already been established. It's something that you can pass on to your children.
Can it skip a generation?
That's interesting. I hadn't thought about that. But he wasn't a generation. He was just a clone of Palpatine. So I'm still, that still is not a satisfactory.
Yeah, that still leaves a lot of questions.
That opens up more questions than it really answers.
Yeah, I agree. Rey's dad is a defective.
So if you think about
Palpatine.
it, she wasn't even his granddaughter. She was actually his daughter, since his son was actually a clone of him.
Of him, yeah.
So, and the last one, Rey and Ben's kiss wasn't romantic. So this is going to kill the feelings of a lot of people who's trying to ship Ben.
Don't tell Grace.
And Rey.
Don't tell Grace.
Grace,
Close your ears.
Grace is his daughter, in case you don't know.
That was her favorite part of that movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Didn't she realize that Ben Solo was a mass murderer?
Dude.
I mean,
not even worth trying to explain.
They destroyed like 5 planets, didn't they?
Uh-huh.
Okay, whatever. I'm not even gonna read this. I think it's more than one page where they established that kiss was more like her giving him thanks for bringing her back, but it wasn't romantic. Oh, this is another one. I forgot about this one. It's established in the novel that Finn, the thing he kept trying to tell Rey was that he was force sensitive.
Yeah, and that I think you pointed that out. You know, that was indeed the case.
Because right here it says, the moment Rey came back to herself, Finn knew. He launched himself out of the turret seat. No one was pursuing him anyway. Climbed the ladder and sprinted for the cockpit. Chewie, I felt her, he said. So the only way he would know that she had came back to life was if he was himself force sensitive.
Right.
So I thought it was an interesting article. And another one, I don't even know why this matters. It says Rey is watching a sunrise on Tatooine.
Yeah.
I guess because Luke in the original trilogy was watching the sunset. She's watching the sunrise, meaning there's a future for her.
Right.
Or something. I don't know. I guess that's the... So, I mean, what do you think about all that?
It's a lot of questions
does
that
it
they
does it
should...
make the movie better for you?
But it would have been better if they would have made these things clear in the movie instead of having to wait for an article to come out months after the movie to confirm.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, but whatever.
Screw it up, JJ.
I really could care less about Ray and Ben kissing. I mean, personally,
Yeah.
it did nothing to advance the story or, you know.
I kind of wish you would have got with Finn. Because they did nothing with Finn that third movie.
There were several actors in that third movie that were just there because.
Yeah, they're just there because nothing happened. Even Poe, I mean, what did he do in that movie? Nothing. Terrible movie. Terrible. I gave it a 3.5, I think, too.
I don't even remember. I think I was somewhere in that area.
I don't know. I was in my little. It's been so long since I was like actually excited about a Star Wars film. I don't know. I just got caught up in the fact that, oh, we finished another trilogy and I lived to see it.
You don't worry. You won't have to wait long. There'll be another one.